Well, good morning. We're here today to talk with Kim Bappe, who has been a trainer for the certified addiction programs here in Colorado for at least 25 years and has trained at Odyssey for at least 20. And I've known Kim for 30 years. So, Kim, hello, Kim. How you doing?
Good, I'm doing well.
Well, I just want to talk to you a little bit today about, your career as a trainer and
Hmm.
just letting students get to know a little bit about you. So, what attracted you or drew you to training and has kept you doing this for so long?
Mm. Well, the agency that I worked in actually at the time, we were sending so many of our folks out for training in the certified addiction counselor world that we decided a group of us could get approved to be trainers and kind of train our own folks, essentially, is what started it. And I enjoy that part. I enjoy watching people learn and grow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been doing the CAC training for many years since then, but also have, continued to work in the field. I mean, you were the director of Larico for how many years?
Ooh, I think a total of 19. I was kind of there and then gone and then back, but 19 years for, yeah, the
Yeah,
residential programs. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, describe Larico just a little bit so people know what it was you ran for all those years.
Yeah. Larico was, and then it turned into Turning Point,
Yeah.
was a residential treatment programs for at-risk adolescents. And so they were placed through the Department of Human Services or through Department of Youth Corrections. So yeah, it was all kinds of cool programs that we did for those kiddos.
Well, that's when I first got to know you because I was the person that you hired, your agency hired to come in and
Yes.
train all of your staff to become trainers. And the thing
Mhm.
that impressed me was just how caring and empathetic and nurturing and helpful your program was. I mean, working with these adolescents who are just in so much of world of trouble. I
Mhm.
was really impressed with the work you did. And so that's part of why I really have enjoyed working with you all these years. So here at Odyssey, you do the culturally informed treatment class, which
Mhm.
of all the classes is probably one of the most challenging classes to do because talking about culture is difficult. And
Yes.
culture in
Yes.
terms of addiction and treatment and recovery, it's a sensitive area. So
Mhm.
talk a little bit about how you approach that class. What's important to you about that class?
Um, I think that really the overall goal for that class is to really help students explore their own biases, assumptions, stereotypes, and really increase their self-awareness about these for themselves. Um, and kind of moving forward with that and how that might impact their work with a variety of clients and all kinds of populations. Um, so there's a challenge to grow for sure, and a challenge in terms of really exploring that for themselves. And some are up for the challenge, and some are not quite there yet, but we work through that.
Wow. So instead of it being sort of like an anthropology class where I'm going to study 29 cultures from around the world,
Right. Right.
I I get a little bit of that, I'm sure, but the main focus is looking at what I bring to the table.
Exactly. Yes. Main focus is really about, yeah, what they bring to the table and also some understanding and how we understand a variety of cultures and how we work within those. Um, yeah. And an awareness of all the isms out there, right?
Yeah.
Ageism, sexism, racism, all of those things. Yeah. So a lot of exploration around all of those topics.
Well, and I think a really central core concept in recovery is what worked for me may not work for you.
Exactly.
and the idea that one person's path is not necessarily another person's path to recovery, I
Mhm.
think is a really important piece for people to really get and to understand and to take inside.
Absolutely. Supporting autonomy for our clients is super important. Yeah, they get to choose. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been doing this training for many, many years. Where do you see yourself moving in the future?
Probably not training
Oh, I think
eventually.
that was a question I really meant for myself.
Yeah,
That's like culturally informed treatment right there.
that's
Um,
right.
that's
Yeah.
right. Because
Someday I'll age out, I think.
well, I'm thinking about where I'm moving in the future, and we've been known each other for so long. I guess that
Yeah.
topic comes up when we talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So one last question. I mean, I know have done training for many years. Is there anything about Odyssey that you enjoy specifically around, just doing that one class, every couple of months? Because we really love having you, Kim. And I was just
Oh,
wondering if there's
thank you.
anything particular about Odyssey that you enjoy training.
Um, I've always loved Odyssey, and it's really because of you, Michael. I have to say, you were a traveling show, one-man show back in the day, and then you created this wonderful training center. You've been a role model for the rest of us out here in the world, in the CAC world. You kind of you paved the way. So there's a lot of history behind what you all do at Odyssey. So I like that part.
Well, one of the things that I've always enjoyed is that, we got to know each other 30 years ago or so,
Uh-huh.
and you started your own
Mhm.
CAC training program about 20 years ago, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And so actually you and I are competitors.
I know, oddly enough. I
Oddly
didn't
enough,
know
we
that.
we both do the same thing and we both are trying to attract the same students, but we've
Mhm.
been able to work together for all these years, and I
Absolutely.
really have enjoyed that because even though we're
Absolutely.
competitors, what's important is training counselors, and that's what we share in common. and
Exactly.
and so with that in common, working together has been easy and it's been a real pleasure, Kim.
Mhm. Yep, I would agree with that. It has definitely been a pleasure. You've been a mentor for me for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. And thanks for this interview. And I think we could wrap it up.
Okay, thanks.